In this time of full disclosure, what is also taking place is trust collapsing. It is causing empires to fall. Leaders, families, institutions, and organizations often had decades to prepare their own lives, right? They knew. They were able to secure their future because they knew, and even protect their generational wealth because they knew. They had information, they had relationships, they had early warnings, they had advisors, they had time to position themselves before the public understood what was happening. Meanwhile, the ordinary people were left asking many questions. And that confusion was not harmless. Confusion kept people from tracing decisions back to the source. It kept sacred souls blaming themselves for conditions they did not create. It kept workers believing they were failing inside systems that were never designed to treat them fairly. It kept families struggling to survive while those with hidden information was able to prepare but God. But disclosure changes the direction of the questions that you have. The public is no longer only examining what happened. People are examining who knew, who benefited, who remained silent, who was protected, and who paid the price. This is why public trust has become so valuable. Trust is the invisible currency of every institution, of every relationship, of every family. See, a company may have property, a government may have the authority, a family may have a famous name, and an organization may have wealth. But when people no longer believe its word, respect its leadership, or trust its intentions, its public value begins to collapse. Loss of trust creates a domino effect. Employees stop believing the mission. Customers stop believing the promises. Communities stop believing the explanations. Supporters stop defending the leadership. Former insiders begin speaking. Records begin surfacing. Contradictions become harder to conceal. The carefully protected image begins falling apart. And eventually, not one can save face because the problem is no longer one individual mistake. The public begins seeing the culture that made the behavior possible. This is the fear beneath the fear. It is not only the fear of losing their money, their wealth, it is the fear of losing control over the story, their lives. For generations, some organizations built environments that operated like cults. They demanded loyalty without accountability. They rewarded silence. They punished questions. They celebrated leaders while draining workers and families and believers and vulnerable people of their ideas and their care and devotion and labor and spiritual strength. The institution became more important than the people inside it. The leader became more important than truth. The family name became more important than justice. The brand became more important than human dignity. And scared, sacred souls were often treated as renewable resources. Their compassion was used. Their creativity was harvested. Their faith was manipulated. Their forgiveness was expected. And their exhaustion was ignored. Their spiritual gifts helped keep organizations alive while those same organizations refused to honor the people carrying them. In spiritual terms, some people became alien to their own humanity. And it's not because they literally became something other than human, but because fear and greed trained them to live without compassion and reflection or even moral responsibility. They began believing that if they imitated cruelty, served powerful interests, and protected hidden arrangements, their families would be spared. They believed obedience to corrupted authority would secure their bloodlines. They believed that becoming like the system would save them from the system. But corrupted power does not create loyal heirs. It creates disposable servants. Unfortunately, they were the last to know. The devil does not invest in his disciples. He uses them. He flatters them while they are useful. He promises protection while increasing their dependence. He encourages them to betray others. These are normally gatekeepers, right? And then leaves them surrounded by people who know they cannot be trusted. See, he offers temporary advantage while collecting peace, character, family, health, and reputations. He does not build them. He manipulates them. He does not love them. He harasses and harnesses them through the very appetites he taught them to serve. He does not grant lasting power. He keeps them afraid that everything they gain can be taken away. This is the spiritual meaning of collection. Eventually, every agreement built on deception begins demanding payment. Every institution that consumed people must answer for what it consumed. Every leader who treated sacred lives as fuel must face the emptiness left behind when those souls withdraw their gifts. Every family that secured its future through the suffering of others must confront the truth that wealth without moral foundation does not create peace. And this is where the wealth transfer enters the teaching. The transfer may not arrive when the old order feels strong. It may arrive when public trust is collapsing. It may arrive when institutions appear unstable. It may arrive when those who controlled opportunities believe no one else can prosper. It may arrive during seasons when the old gatekeepers are too distracted defending themselves in legal matters to continue blocking everyone else. See, they will assume that disclosure means all prosperity must stop. But disclosure does not end creation, it redirects it. When trust leaves corrupted institutions, it begins searching for truthful builders. When talent leaves exploitative workplaces, it begins creating new businesses. And when spiritual wisdom leaves controlling communities, it begins forming healthier gatherings. And when sacred souls stop feeding organizations that dishonor them, their gifts become available for the lives and families and missions they were always meant to strengthen. And this is why the coming transfer will confuse those who depended on control. Because they believed they owned the source, but they did not. They only stood between the source and the people carrying it. They believed they created the gift. They did not. They only benefited from gifts that could neither manufacture nor fully understand. They believed sacred souls could not prosper without their approval. But the season of disclosure reveals something they never prepared for. The gift can leave, the wisdom can leave, the labor can leave, the loyalty can leave, the people can leave. And when sacred souls leave, the life of the institution often leaves with them. And what remains may still have a name, it may still have property, it may still have money, but it no longer has the living force that made people believe. Sacred souls do not mistake collapse for the end of possibility. The failing and falling of one system may be the opening through which another generation finally builds. Do not fear the season when old institutions lose public favor, and do not assume that economic uncertainty means your future has been canceled. Do not believe that the people who prepared themselves through hidden information are the only ones permitted to prosper. There is wealth connected to truth. There is provision connected to service. There is opportunities connected to creativity. And there are communities that are searching for leaders who have not sold their humanity. There are people searching for businesses they can trust. There are families ready to support work that does not exploit them. There are resources moving away from false authority and toward those capable of building with wisdom. The old order believed wealth would remain inside the same families forever. But wealth follows value. And trust follows truth. And people eventually move toward what allows life to flourish. The devil may manipulate those who serve greed, but the divine source continues breathing ideas into those who create and heal, teach, restore, and build. That is why sacred souls must prepare, not through fear or revenge, not through obsession with the downfall of others. Prepare through education, financial wisdom, ownership, discipline planning, protecting your ideas and learning contracts, building trustworthy relationships, and refusing to let compassion become self-abandoning neglect. Prepare because the season that exposes corrupted wealth may also reveal where honest wealth must go next. Their greatest fear is not simply that everything will fall apart. Their greatest fear is that the people they underestimated will build what replaces it. Thank you for visiting my channel, and may your soul be blessed. Stay covered, stay conscious, and stay undefeated. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.